Welcome to Behind the Bands, a show where we bring you a closer look at artists and musicians performing in our four-state area. I'm Jordan Henderson.
And I'm Yaneli Lopez. In this special edition, we highlight the Porchfest performance of Teni Rane. Porchfest is held in the city of Joplin once a year and gives up-and-coming musicians of any genre an opportunity to showcase their skills in front of a live audience in a fun and family-friendly environment.
Teni Rane stopped by Porchfest while on tour to promote and perform her first full-length album, Goldenrod. The opening song on that album, Firefly, topped out at 15 on the folk music radio chart. Here is Firefly.
Firefly shining light, never cared about the past. The summer night will soon be gone with the coming of the dark. Firefly, you fly so low. When you rise, where do you go? Firefly, when you look at me, can you tell I'm lonely? Firefly shining light, never cared about the past. Summer night will soon be gone with the coming of the dawn. Firefly, could you stay a while? The twinkling lights, they bring a smile. Firefly, if you have to go, take me with you, don't leave me alone. Oh. Firefly, help me spread my wings. It's the only way to reach for dreams. And I could do without these doubts. Breaking free would make me cry. Firefly shining light, never cared about the past. The summer night will soon be gone with the coming of the dawn. The summer night will soon be gone with the coming of the dawn.
And that was Firefly. Rane started her music at a young age in her hometown of Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is what she had to say about her start in the music.
Well, when I was little, I loved singing, and I think it was less deciding that I wanted to be a singer and more at a certain point I had to decide, okay, I guess I need to learn to play guitar because I was getting tired of waiting around for an accompanist. And so I decided, okay, well, if I want to sing my own songs, I guess I have to be able to do that in some way. And so I started playing guitar probably when I was, very casually, when I was probably 14, and kept kind of learning as I went, was able to start putting melody to thought as well at that time. But I have loved singing from a very young age, and I do definitely consider that to be my primary instrument. That's what I study and care for the most, and guitar is a very solid functional instrument for me, but the singing side has been the thing I've always wanted to do.
Rane calls folk music her home genre and describes the folk music genre as stories and songs of people, but she still wants the flexibility to mix in other genres. Listen here as she explains more in depth about her genre and sound.
So I call the folk world home. So as a singer-songwriter, you can sort of slide into a lot of different spaces, but I do call the folk world home. I love the Folk Alliance community, especially the Southeast Regional Folk Alliance group. That's kind of my space. But sound-wise, as a singer-songwriter in folk, folk is really just music of the people. It's stories and songs of people. And so in that folk world and in the singer-songwriter space, we do, especially if you listen to the Goldenrod album, there's moments where we kind of slide into a little bit more of a rock feel, because that's what supports and makes sense for that song, or a little bit more of a folk feel, or a little bit more of a country edge, without having to kind of pigeonhole into one or the other, which is very fun, kind of being in that folk space. And that I hope to be able to continue to do, to just kind of have the opportunity to reach into different genres and play with those motifs, with those themes when they fit the song, but without feeling like I have to be beholden or really committed to any single genre.
Now it's time for our next song here on this edition of Behind the Bands. Have you ever been told to get your head out of the clouds? Well, this song does the opposite and embraces having your head in the clouds and being who you are, even if it doesn't fit into society's norm. Here is Don't Look Down.
Poetry in the sky, well-worn dream drifting by. Part of me craves an epiphany, and I won't find it standing here, so I won't look down to just find the ground. And how would I keep my head up in the clouds? Maybe the past is my own demise, some desperate experiment getting by. Part of me craves an epiphany, and I won't find it standing here, so I won't look down, just find the ground. And how would I keep my head up in the clouds? Close my eyes, take a look inside, and how it feels to start living in my mind. With my head up in the clouds, my head up in the clouds, head up in the clouds. Don't look down, don't look down, don't look down. If I have to break to be victorious, then I feel that glory has united the base of my spine, leaving me shrunken and paralyzed, caught up in the poison. Everything is fine, just fine, but I won't look down to just find the ground. Then how would I keep my head up in the clouds? I'll close my eyes, take a look inside, and then how it feels to start looking at my mind, with my head up in the clouds. Head up in the clouds, head up in the clouds. Don't look down, don't look down, don't look down. I gotta keep my head up in the clouds.
You just heard Don't Look Down. Rane is an artist who likes to make sure everything she does has a purpose and keeping what matters into perspective. And she keeps that sentiment when she talks about her goals.
In terms of goals, I think the biggest and most important thing to me is to be able to continue doing what matters. I think a lot of artists feel the pressure, including myself, to like, oh, you have to play every gig that you can get, and you have to be on the road all the time, and you have to tour constantly, and you have to give everything and completely exhaust yourself. I think that is a common kind of push that artists feel. And that is not something that I hope to do. I don't want to burn myself out. I've done that in other careers. It is not worth it. And so for me, being able to start to develop the opportunity to be really selective and specific about what I'm playing and why, and what it kind of provides to my life, to our life, to creating something that is not exhausting but is really life-giving. And that's a daily conversation and negotiation of like, why am I reaching out to this venue? What is the point? Why am I going on the road with this? And so that's my biggest goal, is to be able to do the things that matter and to say no to the things that don't.
Goals aren't always easily attainable, as most of us know, especially in a tough business like the music industry. But it also depends on where your passion lies. Rane explained her point of view.
I think so. I think it's hard not to do it if you're not passionate about it. It's a really tough business, and any artist at any level will tell you that. Like, whether you are in the Billboard Top 100 or you're barely charting on the folk radio charts, it is a tough game, and you have to be really surrounded by lovely people, and you have to have a little bit of love for it in your heart, because if you don't, it'll crush you and you'll have to put it down. So passion is important, but it can't be the only thing, because you'll just spin your wheels forever if you don't figure out a direction for yourself.
Rane encompasses all of this in our next song, Small Steps, which is our remembering to take small steps and taking life day by day until you reach your goals and your dreams. Here is Small Steps.
learning to love myself and life with every small step it takes. Learning not to apologize.
That was Small Steps. Here on this edition of Behind the Bands, we are taking an in-depth look at Teni Rane's performance at the annual Porchfest. Rane is a musical artist who has toured the South and Midwest to promote her first album, Goldenrod. Here is Rane talking about the states she's visited during the tour.
Tour for me right now as a pretty small regional artist is going places where I know people. So over to Missouri and Arkansas, it's where we went to school, and then all through Tennessee, kind of the southeast region, up into Kentucky where I have a few friends as well, and then also trying to link shows with other kind of business needs. So I'll be traveling to a conference in California in the beginning of November, so doing a show out there as well, kind of trying to find places where I know I'm going to be all ready to help keep things economical and get to spread my music out a little bit.
We mentioned Rane being a native of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and how that is where she found her love for music. She also said her hometown helped influence her music, especially on her album Goldenrod.
When you listen, especially through, well, the title of my first EP, my first project, was called Heart in Tennessee. So there's a strong influence there for sure. But a big influence in terms of the songs on Goldenrod as well, where a lot of the kind of imagery and the containers of the songs visually come from that sort of Appalachian flora and fauna. So Goldenrod, of course, is native across the United States, but having spent a lot of time out hiking on the trails, kind of had that dance of Goldenrod in my head as some of the songs were penned. Lots of things about the change of season too, right, as the summer fades into fall, and a lot of influence from kind of the natural world and the landscape that I grew up in and around.
This next song is off that album and has a fall feel to it. Here is Caramel.
Full moon, fall night, only see the ghosts of clouds that shimmered in the sun. Half empty light, never see it coming on. Something has begun. My heart flutters in the breeze. It is your breath that shakes the tree. And all the maple leaves will turn after the sun. After the sun, it's the shoulder that burns. I didn't even notice there's this beautiful maple tree right here. That'll be lighting up in a few more weeks. Full moon, fall night, I can feel a heartbeat spinning low in this whiskey glow, this waxing light. The feeling's growing clearer. Are you gonna let it show? 'Cause my heart flutters in the breeze. It's your breath that shakes the trees. And all the maple leaves will turn after the sun. After the sun, it's the shoulder that burns. Now we dance unseasonably warm. Moon shadow light shows the sweet slide. Smile, oh baby, should I be the one? 'Cause my heart flutters in the breeze. Is your breath, it shakes the tree. All the maple leaves will turn after the sun. After the sun, it's the sugar that burns. It's the sugar that burns.
Well, that wraps this edition of Behind the Bands. We're your host, Jordan Henderson.
And I'm Nellie Lopez.
We leave you with one more song and the namesake of Teni Rane's first ever album release. Here is Goldenrod, and we hope to see you next time.
I've heard everything changes. I don't think it's true. Some things stay the same. I like how I think of you when you're far away, and I'm lying here on my own. I remember the feel of your hand holding mine as we drove through the mountains to see what we'd find if we got away and got to take a breath under blue sky. I see goldenrod sway as leaves tumble and play. The summer fades into fall. Try to hold on to tight, catch it right, 'cause it's all we have after all. There was a stream by the path, so we stopped to race leaves. I could see your reflection smiling at me when my boat capsized, and I said, could we try again? And the sunshine was sweet, even there in the shade. Oh, it all felt so perfect. I got afraid of the moment where you might not love me anymore. And I see goldenrod sway as leaves tumble and play. The summer fades into fall. I try to hold on to time, oh I catch it right, 'cause it's all we have after all. And see down the breeze blow wherever they please. Maybe that's not for me. I like my feet on the ground. I see goldenrod sway as leaves tumble and play. The summer fades into fall. I try to hold on tight, oh I catch it right, 'cause it's all we have after all. I see goldenrod sway. I see goldenrod sway.